Welcome back everybody, this is Krimmel. I wanted to take a quick minute today to talk about the differences between Cities XL and SimCity, considering the fact that I paid $60 for a game that I can't even play at the moment. It's now been 3 days since launch, and I have yet to be able to play the game for 48 straight hours because the servers are too busy, it's updating, so when it restarts it crashes, all that sort of nonsensical stuff. Considering EA is one of the biggest game publishers in the world, I would expect that they have the means to be able to provide the servers and the capabilities that they would need, knowing what they were getting themselves into with always online DRM, which that's a completely different story. That's completely unnecessary, and they're doing whatever they can to garner as much money as possible, and it really makes me mad, as well as many other people, that we pay $60 for a game and can't even play it still 3 days after it comes out. Most games would have their issue solved in 24 to 48 hours, but initially EA just denied the fact that the game wasn't working properly. They removed things like cheetah speed and hoped that it would reduce server load, and obviously it hasn't because all of the servers are literally busy to the point where you can't even select them. It's insanity. Now, I wanted to go over the differences like I said, so I'll keep it brief. Now, Cities XL is actually single player, and perhaps most importantly, it's not made by EA. It's made by Focus Home Interactive. I guess they're just a smaller publisher that makes some decent games. There's nothing wrong with Cities XL, but SimCity has a massive reputation and an even more massive fan base. The fan base is so loyal they'll just bash, Cities XL. They probably haven't even played it, but who knows? It's not really that imperative that the SimCity fans like Cities XL because they're both great games, but they do have their definite differences. At the time of the recording, SimCity has incredibly small plot sizes. I think it's like 20 kilometers by 20 kilometers if I'm not mistaken, which is abysmally small. I think Cities XL, I'm not sure the exact dimensions of the Cities XL plots, but they can literally hold millions of people in them. I've seen videos on YouTube of cities with like 8 million people. If I'm not mistaken, there may even be more than that. Initial reports from players who've been able to max out plots show a max population of roughly 220,000 people in the SimCity plots, which is teeny tiny. Just think about the difference. Let's just say 5 million to be safe with Cities XL. 5 million population versus 220,000. Now, there are differences in the gameplay styles themselves. Like for instance, Cities XL isn't as focused on things like police and fire, things of that nature, while SimCity has a huge focus on that stuff. For instance, buildings will catch on fire and cause other buildings to catch on fire. That never really happens, but citizens won't move in. The thing that won't, the worst that can happen in Cities XL is citizens won't move in. Like I was trying to say, you can get a bad reputation so people don't come, and you have to try and fix it by providing those services and just wait for people to hopefully move back in. But in SimCity, the police are needed because there's criminals, all that sort of stuff. A city can garner a bad reputation by way of, criminal activities, fire, all that sort of stuff, waste pollution. So there are different respects. Maybe they tried smaller plot sizes because they wanted people to focus on actually building a sustainable city rather than just building it as big as they could, which sort of makes sense, but there should be the option to do both. Eliminating it to one, thinking that one player might want to do this and one player will want to do the same thing, is ridiculous. One thing that I can't hate on SimCity for is the fact that it looks and sounds fantastic, which is no doubt true. The game does look very good for the few minutes that I have actually played it, and it sounds really good. The music is relatively nice, and the sound effects are, I guess you can't really judge the sound effects because they probably made them themselves, but they're pretty good. So, also, another really important thing is Cities XL doesn't have the massive failure cushion that SimCity does with EA, because EA has who knows how much profit, but enough money to be able to support the SimCity genre if it were a complete flop. And not to mention, if SimCity flops, that's gonna make all of the other city builder game developers not want to pursue this thing, and investors who are going to support the developers that want to make a game like this. That's I think one of the biggest issues is because SimCity is no doubt the biggest title out there. Everyone knows it when you mention city builder games. So if this fails, all the investors that would potentially invest in another smaller company's production of a city builder game is probably not gonna it's not gonna be as likely to happen, which really sucks. Also, Cities XL does not have multiplayer, while SimCity does, but most of us can't even connect to the SimCity game, let alone the multiplayer, so we can't even really talk about that. There's probably a mod out there for Cities XL multiplayer, I just don't know about it. Most importantly, Cities XL does not use always online DRM, which, like I said earlier, is just EA being as greedy as they possibly can, which is absolutely the truth. There's no other reason. I think, just like Total Biscuit said, the only reason always online DRM is okay is when the game is entirely free to play, which I agree with 100%. That is just spot on. Just think, like, if the game is free to play, you buying little things and you not pirating the game is essential to the game company's survival. But for a company as big as EA, who's been around for as long as they have to use always online DRM, is just crazy. And I don't think we're gonna see it change. Like Ubisoft, or Ubisoft, however you say it, they went against their, like, they turned off their always online DRM after people petitioned them for a long time. I just don't see that happening with EA. That's my personal thoughts. I'm really fed up with this. I don't even feel like I should attempt to get a refund because I probably will get denied by Origin chat support, considering I bought the digital download copy and not the physical shipped box, which sucks because now I probably won't be able to get a refund. And I also bought it through Origin. I didn't get it through Amazon, so that really does suck. But there's nothing I can do. That's pretty much all that I can come up with right now. If you guys would like more information, I'm happy to do some research to find out the latest SimCity developments, so definitely let me know. Alright, we'll see you guys soon.